it's Kilobyte, and in this video I'm going to be putting some support line or cable to hold up the splitter, the front splitter or chin spoiler, or some might call it, but it's a splitter. I've had this splitter for 3 years, and it's held up well. However, if you look like right here, it's starting to pull the plastic down, and the bolt is tight. It's just the plastic itself in there is being pulled down. So what I'm going to do is put some cable. In this case, it will be mirror cord, and this is braided mirror cord, 75-pound breaking weight. And there'll be 2, so I don't think it'll exceed 150 pounds on the front of the spoiler. I'll be really surprised if it gets near that, or splitter. So I'm going to be putting the cable right in between here, and what I've done is I've marked roughly where they'll be with the washer, so you can get a bit of an idea there how it's going to look. And it'll just be a little short piece of metal there between them, and I think it'll look pretty clean. This is the cable. I've got 2 sets of washers. These are happens to have a 3/16" opening hole, 1-inch washer. That's this right here. This is to spread the weight across. So there'll be a hole drilled, and the washer will be what's against the hole. Maybe this will show it better, like so. And so all the pressure will be against the 1-inch washer, which will spread the load a little more. The smaller washer with the bigger hole is I have the wire wrapped in it and around it a couple times, and then squeeze down with the pliers to hold it in place. And what I'll do, so it'll be like so, and what I'll do is I'm going to be drilling a hole right in about here. There it is, right in about here, and I'll be running the wire through that hole. And the 2 washers will be up inside it. I may have to run it up through here, do all my work here, and then pull it down. That way the washer is hidden, and then I'll drill a hole like right here, and then underneath is where the washer will be, and I'll have full access to this one. So what I can do is lift this up and then get it the right length so that the splitter is at the right angle that I want, and then it'll just be it'll come down a little. That way it'll be nice and tight here, and you won't see, all you'll see is the wire, the metal wire, which I think will look alright. I don't think it'll be very noticeable, honestly. It's such a small piece, and it is metal wire, so I think it'll blend in fairly well with the front end. So that is my plan, and I've got about where I'm going to drill, so I'm going to go ahead and drill my hole. And just so you know, the drill bit, the way I picked the drill bit, I took the wire and I held it to my bits, and this is the drill bit that just barely exceeded the wire size. I may end up having to go one larger size on the bit. I'll let you know, but that is the that's how I picked it. It's nothing scientific, and that happens to be 3/32. Your wire may or may not be the same size. Your results may vary. So here we go, and I'm gonna go ahead and drill the holes for the one side, for the top on one side first, and see if I can get the wire in and stuff. And the nice thing is you can't see the hole. If I mess it up, no one will know. I ended up going with the next size up drill bit. The wire didn't like going up through the hole, the smaller hole, so I went with just one next size up, 7/64 or something, and it's still real tight. Wire is pulled up through here. Now what I will do is take the larger washer, put it on first. And I'm not going to be able to do this with one hand, am I? I guess I could push it on through. Now I'll take a smaller washer, and I'm going to put this on and then twist this in through the hole like 3 times. Then take a pair of pliers and squeeze it down. Then I will pull it down to where the washer is right in here, right on the up against this on the other side, and that should keep the weight distributed there. And by the way, don't tear up your splitter when you're drilling. If your drill has rough pieces here, it will sand it down. So let me take care of the washers. Alright, so the wire is run through the washer, the small washer, 3 times and then crimped down. And this will go, when it gets pulled in, the big washer will be where my fingers are, and that'll be between the wire wrapped around and the plastic here, which should help it last longer. And pull it down. There we go. Now I will be drilling a hole in the splitter and running it through and doing the same thing on the bottom of the splitter. Alright, the hole right there. And be sure to try to line it up so that it's going to be consistent on both sides. Feed the wire in without catching little pieces that'll split it. It'll separate the wire. You want it nice to be still connected. In this case, braided. Then you pull down from the bottom, and that is what it's going to end up looking like. And I have mine just slightly forward on the bottom. I'm going to try to make it this other side be exactly the same angle and all that. It may be harder, easier said than done. But what we'll do now is I will take a big washer, put on here, then the smaller washer below it, pull it up, and then I'll have to lift this up, and then wrap the wire around it while this is pulled up, and it'll take some adjusting and stuff to get it right, but then it'll hold it up at the angle I want it so that it'll put less weight. It'll hopefully keep the front end higher when I'm at speed, because it's pulls down a little bit, and I don't want to. The whole goal of this is to try to keep it up a little more. So we'll get to work. With a fair bit of effort, I have it connected here. You can see when I push down on the splitter, It pulls down on the whole thing, which should be fine. And if you look underneath, that's what I ended up with. It took needle nose pliers and a lot of work, but I finally got it. I hope that's focusing. But I finally got it, the wire through and tight at the proper length. Again, I took needle nose pliers, pushed up, pulled down, and twisted with the needle nose. You can't actually see my motions from there, but anyway, twisted with the needle nose pliers to get it right, and then I did like came through, up, through, back, or no, down, over, and anyway, it's twisted it through there a couple times, and then I ended up using the pliers. I couldn't get the pliers inside between the splitter and the washer, so I ended up just taking and holding the top of the splitter and then pushing up with the pliers to smash it so that it's less likely to move. So now I have to duplicate this on the other side, hopefully in the same position, same angle. That'll be one of the fun parts of it. Alright, I got the second one, the holes drilled. I will tell you that drilling this one was much harder because the splitter won't go down as far because of the other piece here. What I ended up doing is taking a punch and a hammer, putting it up in there. I measured to get the right location, measured the other one and matched it over here, which was a lot easier with the stripes. But I ended up taking the punch and getting the punch in by hand, and then using the hammer and punching it up to get a big enough indention so that my drill wouldn't move when I was drilling. I still got a little bit of drill rubbing on the splitter, but not quite as bad. A tip for the bottom: when you're doing this, when you wrap the wire back through the washer, run it on the back side of the wire. That way, when you get your needle nose pliers, like so, you're on the front, you get it on the wire, and this piece is out of the way. And now you'll just turn it like so and start tightening it up and feed it around. It takes a lot of effort, to be honest, and you want to make sure that this top piece, make sure that this piece is good and tight against the top piece here. And I do expect these to probably stretch a little. I got it in a good position so that if it does drop, say 1/8 of an inch or so, it'll still be good where I want it. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I'm hoping to lower it some. And in case you can't tell, there's not a lot of clearance on the. Well, here we go. You're looking at it was only like 5 inches of clearance, and now I'm up to close to 5.5. So this thing would drag on some speed bumps and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to work the bottom washer of the second one and hopefully show some good results when I'm done. And here is the finished product. I think that looks pretty good. They're not, they don't stick out, but if you do notice them, they look alright still. and the splitter is I measured 5.5 inches right there at each spot, so they are level, and that should keep the keep it high enough where it won't be pulled down at high speed, and help with the deterioration, the warping of the plastic on the ends where it's bolted on and they're pulling down. So that should help hopefully keep those up a little bit as well. And it was a bit of a struggle on those wires underneath to get them at the right. You got to use the needle nose pliers, and you just got to put them in there and twist until you get them right, and then wrap the wire around through the washer, you know, at least 2, preferably 3 times, and you'll get it eventually. And it's just wire. It's just hanger wire, so like picture hanger wire. So it's not expensive, and so don't go, you don't have to skimp on it and worry about messing it up. But there it is, and hopefully it'll make it at the high speeds. I think it will. I doubt if it's got, they're 75 pounds brake each. I expect them to stretch a little bit, but I doubt if I'm going to get 150 pounds on that thing. But I will update with I'll put an update on the video to see, in the info or something, to tell you if it's still, if it's holding up and how it's going. So thanks for watching, and if you find it useful or have any questions, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will answer any questions that I can. Y'all take care.